Jake Noecker with Home of Fight at 316, UFC 316 Fight Week with Mario Bautista on the card. Mario, Fight Week feels, how we doing?
Doing pretty good, thank you.
And you said you still got media day today, you're a little mid-weight cut, so has the fight night energy set in yet, or you still got to get a lot of BS out of the way first?
Oh no, I got to do a bunch of stuff. I take it day by day, hour by hour. I don't stress myself out by thinking too far ahead, because that day will come, so I'll just wait for that day.
In Newark, your first time fighting in Newark, first impressions of the city, any particular thoughts about fighting here?
I like the city. I haven't been over here during the summer on the East Coast, so it's real nice to be over here. Nice city, nice and green. It's looking good so far.
Patchy mix. Last time we talked, you were still fighting Cheeto, so this is a new fight. I know you've talked a bunch of times about thoughts, what do you think about Patchy and all that, but I'm wondering, have you ran into him yet at the hotel? Any encounters? Any first impressions?
Yeah, I've seen him a couple times. I think he's kind of mad dogged us a little bit here and there, but like I said, we fight Saturday, so there's no point to any of that, and that's the only interactions I've had with him.
Well, at media day today, he said, and this isn't a direct quote, but essentially he called you a journeyman and said that you're going to be easy to choke out. Do you have a response to this? I know that you weren't necessarily expecting all the smack talk that's happening.
Yeah, I mean, that's coming from a guy that's, that was fighting outside of the UFC for so long. But no, he has to say whatever he has to say. He has to sell himself, especially if this fight doesn't go good for him. You ruin that debut. You got to sell yourself to make yourself more marketable afterwards. So it's whatever.
And a big discussion lately has been the excitement factor of this fight. And I know when we talked, you said you and Cheeto was a matchup that was bound to bring excitement. Do you feel the same way about this Patchy Mix fight?
Yeah. He has a lot of followers, and we all know how good he is within the community, the MMA community. So it's as equal or if not more of a bigger fight than Cheeto.
And stock-wise, do you think a win over Patchy is more for you than a win over Cheeto would have been?
Yeah, former champion out there, and he's I believe on a 7-fight win streak as well. So it does do. If not, both of those fights would have got me into the top 5 for sure.
And I guess this might be a stereotypical question, but you just said it. He's never been UFC. You've been UFC for a long time. What do you feel like you're going to bring specifically that he hasn't seen before and that he's not ready for?
Just the UFC experience, the big lights, the UFC, it's a totally different show than the Bellator and all those other ones. So see how he deals with that, and then also with, how he deals with the fight.
And I'm just curious, he said easy to choke out. Do you feel a certain way about Patchy's style? Do you see an easy way for victory one way or the other for you here?
Yeah, if he thinks I'm easy to choke out, I think he, if I have to say anything, I don't think his striking's that great either. So we'll see. We'll see if he can even get me there. And if not, it's going to be a long night for him.
And I'm not necessarily asking you to look past Patchy. I know Patchy's first. But do you have in your head any thoughts about the rest of the year yet? Either opponents, locations, how many times you'd like to fight, anything?
Getting past Patchy, yeah, definitely top 5. And if we could squeeze it at the end of the year, that'd be great. It's almost been about a year since I fought. So I like to stay a little bit more active after this one.
So safe to say, Patchy win, top 5. Title shot. Does that sound accurate in your mind?
That sounds reasonable, yeah.
And the title's important because it's on the line. This card, Sean O'Malley, someone you're no stranger with training with, and Merab Dvalishvili. Does the rematch go down any differently? I don't know if you've seen either of them this week, if you have newer thoughts now that we're actually here.
I'm excited for it. I like Sean's mindset leading into this. He said he got off social media, stopped smoking, out for I don't know how long, and he seems really focused. So I'm excited to see what he goes, how it goes out, how he's going to do out there. So I'm excited.
Kayla Harrison, Julianna, Pena. What's happening in that one, man?
I don't know. I just seen Kayla right now. She looked jacked, and I was like, dang, are we in the same weight class?
Yeah, that's 135. So, you could step in there if you want.
Dang, I don't know. She looked a little scary, but I got her winning this fight.
And Mario, last thing I want to do, and I actually wanted to do this outside with some of the street fans around. I think this would have been great, but regardless, we got internet fans. I've known you for, a little bit now. This is our 3rd or 4th interview. I covered your fights before. You're a nice guy. You're a good person. This guy's cool. Where I'm going here is, why should the fans not freaking boo you? I know one boring fight, so to speak, but guys, Mario's a good guy. Can you just tell them, man?
I'm a good guy. I don't know. I just think they jump on that bandwagon. They see other people, kind of booing me, and they just want to join. It's a little bit different story when you see them face to face. They were coming, oh, Mario, and I walked up and I'm like, are you guys online talking shit? And then they just had a look. And I was like, all right, I'll sign whatever. And I can guarantee you half of them are, so it's whatever.
Funny story, I just saw Kevin Holland out front, and some woman came up to ask for a picture with him. She said, are you Kevin? He said, yes. Can I get a picture? He said, did you just have to ask who I was to get a picture? So these fans, you guys are great, but you're also freaking hilarious. Mario, before I get you out of here, man, anything you want to say to all your loyal fans out there watching?
Hey, tune in June 7th. It's going to be a great one, and I can't wait.
UFC 316 this Saturday. Mario Bautista, thank you very much, my man. Great to do this in person finally.